My friend Lorron Strahorn has performed maybe in your mama's house. I'm not sure. But I know that he's been in Las Vegas. He does a lot of shit. So, if you guys don't want to have bad mojo or fucking, I don't know, bad luck, listen to this motherfucker. He's going to have a good time, and you're going to shit yourself later. And if you don't, act like you do. My friend, Lorron Strahorn.
Thank you, Richard. And thank you, Richard and Lorron, for having me again. Like I said, this is my third year in a row trying to entertain you motherfuckers. And I gotta tell you that, I figured since it was my third time, I wanted to make it kind of special, you know what I mean? So I was telling Sheila, my wife, I was like, babe, you know, I think that I want to make it special. I want to pick on Richard a little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah, right. Maybe some dick jokes or something. Right, so she looked at me and she had a little confused look on her face, and she said, you know that, now that you mention it, I never really understood how you get dick from Richard. And I said, well, I would ask Lorron because she's the only one I know that gets dick from Richard. You want to hear something really disturbing though? You guys, they told you my name is Lorron also. It's very disturbing to know that Richard yells out my name during sex. Almost equally as disturbing, I noticed that all the service guys, all the plumbers, they carry pictures of Richard in their truck. So I asked Ben, I was like, Ben, what is this, some kind of a supreme leader thing or something? And he said, nah. They use those to clean out plugged toilets. I said, huh? He said it scares the shit out of them. That's what you call a groaner. Alright, well, enough ripping on Richard. I want to tell you guys about a friend of mine. He's a really good friend of mine. He's a really funny motherfucker. His name is Esteban Rodrigo Ludiano Martinez. Shocker, he's Mexican. Not that you would know. Not only is he's a funny dude, he's a real funny dude, but not only is he like just extremely funny, he's the first Mexican I've ever seen ride a snowmobile. I know, that's just picture that. It's funny in itself, but it gets better, wait. So we're out riding, right, and we're cooking along. I mean, we're freaking going fast. I was impressed with him. All of a sudden, smoke starts boiling out of underneath the hood of his snowmobile. So we pull over real quick, and he opens the sled, and I look down at it, and I said, hey, Mando, it looks like you've blown a seal. And he looked at me without missing a beat, and he said, oh, no, man. He's just frosted on my mustache. Like I tell you, he's a funny motherfucker. I mean, he cracks me up. Usually it's on purpose, but sometimes it's just his natural way about himself that makes me laugh so much. For instance, he has a habit of drunk dialing me. The other night, he drunk dialed me, and he was like freaking out. And I said, what's going on, Mando? And he's like, dude, I'm kind of freaking out, man. And I said, why, what's going on? And he said, dude, it's my junk, man. It's turning bright orange and it burns like crazy. And I said, Mando, have you been watching porn and eating hot Cheetos again? He does that shit. I mean, and he does this shit all the time. I mean, it just cracks me up. In fact, it was later on the same night. Phone rings again. Who do you think it's gonna be? Of course, Mando, and he's drunk again. He's like, dude, I need some advice. I said, what's going on? He said, I don't know what to do. He said, last night, after sex, my wife started smoking. I don't know what to do. And I said, well, if I was you, I would like slow down a little bit or try some lubrication. He's a crazy guy, but now I gotta tell you about the most recent one, and this is like the one that makes me laugh the hardest. He called me up, and this time he's really freaking out, but this time he's serious. He's like very dramatic, and he's like, dude, I don't know what to do this time. And I said, well, what's the matter this time, Mando? And he said, my wife, man, she keeps on telling me that a small penis is no big deal. And I was like, well, Mondo, from what I understand, it's not a big deal. And he said, yeah, I know, man, but I still wish he didn't have one. Yeah, it just never ends. He just cracks me up constantly. Just the other night, we were at the house. We're smoking a doobie, drinking some beers, watching TV, watching some football. Mondo, he starts laughing, pointing at my dog, Chunks. Chunks is laying in the corner, he's licking himself like he always does. And Mondo says, hey, I wish I could do that. And I was like, dude, if you're gonna do that, you better at least pet him first. Maybe buy him some sausages or something? Oh, and speaking of sausages, hey. Speaking of sausages, did you guys hear about this? There was an entire truckload of tainted sausages, okay? Gotta be careful. But what I want to know about this is who took the time to individually touch all those sausages to their taint? It had to be somebody that was like drunk, I mean really drunk, right? Like Mondo, on his last birthday. We went out partying for his birthday. We had cervezas, and we had tequilas, and we had burritos, and we just had a freaking merry old time. Well, Mondo being Mondo, he of course had to overdo it like he always does. He got really fucked up, to the point where as soon as we got through the door of my house, he started blowing Chunks. You guys gotta remember, Chunks is my dog. Gotcha. Well, you know, I don't get all of my material from Mondo, but most of it. I actually get some from my wife. Because she really says some funny shit. Like, before I got in the shower, I was sitting in my big chair, and I was channel surfing between some softcore porn and the cooking channel. She sticks her head in the door, and she tells me, you should go ahead with, keep watching the sex channel because you already know how to cook. Yeah, that was real good for my, it made me feel real good. And if that wasn't bad enough, when I got out of the shower, I was standing on the bathroom scale like this, and I was sucking my gun in like that, and she poked her head in and she said, well, that's not helping. And I said, yeah, it is, it's the only way I can see the numbers. She does, she says some funny shit, but I gotta tell you what, after I got dressed, I know I was looking good, because she grabbed me, and she pulled me in tight, and she said, babe, I want you to take all of my clothes off now. And I was like, hey! And then she was like, and if I ever catch you wearing my fucking clothes again, I'm gonna divorce you, you're a fucking weirdo. We go back and forth like this a lot. Now, before I go, I gotta tell you a little bit about, we give each other a lot of shit, but I know she loves me. And this is how I know she loves me. Because she kept bugging me that I had to get a physical. And I told her, I said, you know, every time I go there, they make me wait for hours in the waiting room. Then they take me in the back room and the doctor shoves his fucking finger up my ass. And then they charge me a shit ton of money and I don't want to do it. And she said, well, you have to do it. And I said, you know what? I'll put my foot down. I'm not doing it. So I'm at the doctor's office. And the doctor comes in. And I said, hey, Doc, can you do me a favor? Can we skip the part where you stick your finger up my ass? And he says, oh, we don't even do that anymore. He said, all you got to do is pee in a cup. I'll put that cup in the computer and it'll tell me if there's anything wrong with you. And I'm like, wow, that sounds way easier than sticking your finger up my ass. So I did it. I peed in the cup and he put it in the computer. A few little needles bounced, a couple lights lit up. A little piece of paper comes rolling out. He rips the paper off and he says, well, Lorron, it says here you're in pretty decent physical overall condition, but you do have a touch of tennis elbow. I said, tennis elbow, Doc? I've never fucking played tennis in my life. That's impossible. And he said, well, I've never seen this test be wrong. But he said, come back next week, we'll rerun the same test and we'll compare the results. Sounds fair, right? Right. So I go home, and I'm preparing my sample for the follow-up test. And I think to myself, you know, I'm a pretty funny motherfucker. A think I'm gonna screw with this doctor a little bit. So not only did I pee in the cup, but I got my wife to pee in the cup. Then I got my son to pee in the cup. Then while I was in the bathroom and I was peeing in the cup, you know, just something happened and things happened and I did it. I whacked off into the cup. What the hell? I stirred that in there. I figured that's my DNA. So I'm getting ready to get in my truck to take the sample back to the doctor, and there's a puddle of oil under my truck. And I'm like, oh, a little bit of that. So I grabbed a little bit of that and I stirred it in there. So I took that sample back to the doctor and I gave it to him. That doctor put that sample in the computer. These needles are bouncing off the pegs. These lights are just lighting up like a friggin' Christmas tree, and this fucking paper keeps coming out, and he rips it off. He says, well, it says here, your wife is pregnant, your son's a pothead, your Chevy truck needs an oil change, and if you don't stop whacking off, you're never going to get rid of that tennis elbow. Then he says, in fact, you should probably just stop masturbating. And I said, why? I thought it was natural and it was a good thing. And he said, yeah, but not while I'm examining you. That's my time, everybody. I hope I made you laugh at least once. Thank you, Richard, and thank you, Lorron, for letting me do this. Nothing makes me happier than to make other people laugh.